I'd like to welcome all those with us in the chamber this morning, as well as those that are joining us online. This is a very special day that we have to honor all our guests, our Vietnam veterans. We appreciate you and your family taking the time out to be with us this morning. This is a very special occasion for all of us in Weber County, and we're going to make sure that you know how thankful we are for your service. We're going to start this morning with a flag ceremony, and the flag ceremony, we want to give thanks to the American Legion Post 9, combined with the DAV 14, Mr. Steve Ross, Robert Norero, John Monroe, and Ron Oshana will be the ones that will be presenting the flag, and then we'll go right into our Pledge of Allegiance. After the colors are posted, invocation will be given by Sean Wilkinson. Thought of the day will be given by Commissioner Bolos. Let's go to that point. And before we post those, we wanted to also recognize Honorable Robert Dandoid, the mayor of Roy, is with us this morning. Appreciate the mayor being with us. I hope I didn't miss any VIPs out there, but we thank you for being there. Okay, if the audience would please stand, we're going to post the colors.
I invite the audience to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you for that great presentation. Mr. Wilkinson.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be here this morning, grateful for those who have come together with us today. We're grateful for the veterans who are here, who have served this country with such dedication and such sacrifice. We're grateful for the sacrifice they have made and for the sacrifice their families have made. And we recognize that they have helped to preserve our way of life and the freedoms that we enjoy. We're so grateful for that. We're grateful for this great country, for our Constitution, and we pray that each of us may do our part to uphold it and to spread its message of peace and liberty throughout the world. We're grateful for the many blessings that we enjoy, even the simple blessings that sometimes we take for granted. And we recognize that throughout the world there are places that are not enjoying the peace that we do right now. We pray that peace may come. And we're grateful for those who work so hard to bring that about. Again, we recognize those who have gone before us, who have made so many sacrifices to help us have what we do today. And again, acknowledge those who are here with us and thank thee for all of those who work so hard to provide us with these great blessings. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner Bolos, thought of the day.
Yeah, I'm really actually grateful for this opportunity that I have to have the thought of the day on this special day that we have to recognize the veterans. My father-in-law is a veteran of the Vietnam War, and I think about one of the most inspiring stories is that my oldest sister-in-law did not meet her dad until she was several months old because he was away to war. And my mom didn't meet her dad till she was a year old, and my dad didn't meet his dad until he was 2.5, because their fathers were away fighting in conflicts. And I know that they see and experience a lot of things that are unspeakable, but I also know that on the family front, they make a lot of sacrifices. And the fact that these people in my life were unable to meet their own children until later, after they were born, really means a lot to me, and shows their dedication to their love for our country. And so I've always appreciated that, and thank you to all of you. I'm sure that there are stories like that in our audience. So thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's now go to our public comment section of our agenda. Anyone that would like to come forward and make a public comment regarding to our agenda items today, please come forward. Now is your opportunity. And I'm going to ask Shelley if there's anyone online that may, no one online.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just would feel remiss, my uncle served in the Vietnam War. I have chills that we have this many heroes all in one place. So I want to say thank you all for the sacrifices that you made, and God bless.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that a lot, Shelley. All right, Commissioners. Seeing no one online and no one else coming forward, I'm going to, without objection, we had the presentation for our Vietnam war veterans scheduled next, but because of what we have in plan for after with refreshments, without objection, I'm going to move that to the end of the agenda, and then we'll have the discussion and presentation at that point in time.
Great.
So with that, I'm going to move forward. We'll move as quickly as possible through this. Our consent items, G1 through 10. Actually, G1 through 15, excuse me. So, 1, request for approval of warrants 9360 through 9416 and 48221 through 48391 in the amount of $1,456,605.84. 2, request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $261,102.48. 3, for a summary of warrants and purchase orders, let's go to Mr. Ricky Hatch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We issued 10 purchase orders this week for $261,000. Just over half of that amount, or $142,000, was for the health department to go towards the third floor remodel as well as to purchase vaccines. 16%, or $43,000, is for the transfer station to purchase tires for the front loader and to purchase fuel. 10%, or $25,000, is for the library to buy books and materials for the remainder of the year. 7%, or $18,000, is for the conference center to purchase AV equipment. As far as checks, we issued 228 warrants this week for $1.5 million. 29% of that amount, $415,000, related to escrow releases, mostly for the Point as well as for Aspen Ridge. 19%, or $275,000, was for the roads department to pay for the patch truck that was purchased, as well as road supplies and fuel. 10%, or $152,000, is for the library, and that paid for the sculpture relocation, software maintenance, building maintenance, and books and materials. And then lastly, 5% of that amount, or $76,000, is for our IT department to purchase telephone equipment and pay for telephone service, to purchase software as well as some hardware.
Thank you for that. Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Questions, Commissioners, for Mr. Hatch?
None.
Seeing none, let's move forward. Let's go to G4, request for approval of new business licenses. 5, request for approval of minutes for the meetings held on October 24th and the 31st, 2023. 6, request for approval of the First Amendment to the interlocal agreement by and between Weber County and Pleasant View City for the use of security cameras at the ballot drop boxes. 7, request for approval of updates and changes to policy 12.5, tax relief program policy. 8, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Golden Spike Gem and Mineral Society to hold the Gemstone Junction at the Golden Spike Event Center. 9, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Broken Heart Rodeo Company to hold the Stetson Wright Bull Riding School at the Golden Spike Event Center. 10, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Broken Heart Rodeo to hold the Wright Brothers Roughstock School at the Golden Spike Event Center. 11, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Elite Productions to hold the RMPRA Winter Series Rodeo at the Golden Spike Event Center. 12, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Vegas Productions to hold the Jordan World Circus at the Golden Spike Event Center. 13, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Enola Chavez to hold the November 2023 matched races at the Golden Spike Event Center. 14, request for approval of a retirement agreement by and between Weber County and Stephen Starrett. 15, request for approval of contracts by and between Weber County and the following individuals for services for the Ogden Musical Theater's productions of A Christmas Carol. I'm going to say, Commissioners, all those that are listed from Burke Buckhart through Micah Johnson as presented on our agenda, we'll ask for your approval on those. Those will be our consent items, Commissioners.
Make a motion to approve items G1 through 15.
Second with comment.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to mention that item number 9, when the best and most decorated rodeo cowboy in the world chooses to do an education class, he chooses Weber County. I just find that fascinating
Yeah.
in the world, so that's awesome.
That's great. He comes up here.
Yep,
Great family. I agree. Okay.
great. So with that, it said yes, second.
When we have a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you very much. So we'll go to our action items, Commissioners. H1, request for approval of a resolution 45-2023 of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing trustees to the Roy Water Conservation District. Stacy Skeen, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I was contacted by the Roy Water Conservancy District that 2 of their board member positions were expiring December 31st of 2023. I posted for Division 3 and Division 4, and I received applications from Gary Adams for Division 4 and Chad Zito for Division 3. They are currently serving and would like to be reappointed, and I didn't receive any other applications.
Okay, questions, Commissioners?
None. Mr. Chair, if you're ready to receive a motion.
I'd be ready.
I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 45-2023, appointing Gary Adams to Division 4 and Mark Olin to Division 3.
Chad Zito.
Chad Zito, sorry, I circled the wrong one.
Yeah.
Make that Chad Zito Division 4 and
Chad Zito, Division 3, and Gary Adams, Division 4.
thank you.
Okay.
That's the one.
Would that be your motion?
Yep.
Okay.
Aye. I'm sorry,
That was-
second?
That was a second. Roll call vote, Chet. Brent? Go ahead.
Call vote for Resolution 45-2023. Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
All right.
Chair Floor?
Aye. Thank you very much. Motion carries. Let's now go to our next action item, H2, request for approval of Resolution 46-2023 for an interlocal agreement by and between Weber County and the Community Reinvestment Agency of Marriott-Slaterville City regarding the Central Business District East Community Reinvestment Project Area. Ms. Stephanie Russell. I don't see Stephanie here. She's on the next 2 agenda items. I'm not sure there's anybody else here that can.
I don't know.
Chris, can you present this?
I know that the agreements have been reviewed by legal, and so from our end, they were good to go.
Okay. All right, well, I think we've been aware of this. This is basically the CRA proposed by Marriott-Slaterville City that was talked about and approved at a work session. And then I believe all the documents, interlocals have been signed, Chris?
Yes, they should have, if they've appeared on the agenda. I know they came through our contract approval system, so they should be.
Okay.
Because we've heard them before, Mr. Chair, and I think that these communities are anxious in getting started. I don't have reservation in making a motion if you're ready to receive.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I think we all know enough about it.
Yeah, let's move forward with the first one. Item H2, which is a resolution 46-2023, the interlocal between Weber County and the Reinvestment Agency of Marriott Slaterville.
Great. And this, what this does, this sets the project area, just so we're all aware of that. Okay, here's Ms. Russell now. Did I get a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Stephanie, you're up.
Thank you, Commissioners. I apologize. I got stuck in the elevator.
We're on the Marriott Slaterville.
Mary Slaver, okay. This is a resolution approving a community reinvestment agency between Weber County and the city of Marriott Slaterville for their project area. And you're very familiar with the terms and conditions of that project area. And this has gone through our Economic Development Finance Committee as well as a work session. So we're seeking a vote on this resolution today.
Great. Okay. And we had a second. All right, roll call vote.
Roll call vote for Resolution 46-2023. Commissioner Bolos.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey.
Aye.
Chair Four.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. You're back up. Request for approval of Resolution 47-2023. This is an interlocal agreement by and between Weber County and Roy City Development Agency regarding an amendment to the 1900 Southeast Community Reinvestment Project area. Stephanie, you're back up.
Once again, this has gone before our Economic Development Finance Committee. We have done an amendment on this project area, and this has also gone to you in a work session. So they are currently asking to enter into an interlocal agreement for the Central Business District for their CRA to continue their project that they have moving forward.
Okay, and we're all excited about this for Roy. Mayor, anybody in your city like to discuss this or have a comment? Now's your opportunity.
Commissioner, I'll just tell you, could not be more excited about what I'm about to hear, I hope. That both in support of this major project for our city.
This is great. One of our prime cities in Weber County we very much enjoy.
And Commissioners, I just wanted to reemphasize what Mayor Dandoy is saying. This project is going to be significant for their downtown area. It'll have some connectivity to the future 3-gate trail, as well as just really creating this city core. The participation agreement that we'll be entering into with them really focuses on the infrastructure, which is something that we've been working on with our new CRA policy, is to make sure that as we're entering into these agreements with our local municipalities, that there's a public benefit from doing these tax incentives.
Great. Yeah, and I think that as we've reviewed these over the past couple of years, this is one of the prime cases that we see for use of CRAs and the TIF dollars for reinvestment in our communities, our local communities. Let the cities put in infrastructure that they decide as public officials and public bodies what's best for those communities, and not necessarily the state or the county.
Absolutely.
So we very much appreciate that. With commissioners' comments, if not, I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 47-2023.
Second, again with a comment, Mr.
Go
Chair.
ahead.
Sorry, I just want to, Mayor, especially since we have the privilege of having you present in our meeting today, I want to publicly thank you for bettering our community. Now, I know you have a team of people, and you'd pass that on to them for doing such a great job. But for all of you who are listening now and maybe listening on a recording another time, this mayor has done a phenomenal job with the unprecedented growth that our county is seeing out in the southwest corner. Not just with the things that are happening in Roy, but especially with the huge expansion of Northrop Grumman, or the Space Force, which is the new branch of the military that's out there. The 5600 South, the reconstruction of the freeway, and all of 5600 South going from basically where Hill is, moving further west. The movement of the line, or the wire at Hill Air Force Base. There was a comment made by Ms. Russell today about a 3-gate trail. Many of you may have heard of, none of you are likely old enough to remember, but you've heard of the old Bamberger line, the old train that used to run between Ogden and Salt Lake. Well, that rail line is still in place. It goes right into Ogden, and it goes from Ogden and runs clear out and runs through Ogden and Riverdale and then Roy and then into the base. And that line, that right-of-way is still there. And that three-gate trail is an active transportation route that'll be constructed over the next few years, allowing the highest employer, the biggest employer in the state of Utah, another access for those employees to get nonstop right up that trail. It's just phenomenal what's been happening collaboratively between Roy and Ogden, Riverdale, and of course Weber County, what we've done here. And I really appreciate all the efforts you've done there. So this is exciting, another piece to the puzzle, what you've done there, Mayor, and we really appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Mr. Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else, Stephanie?
I just have one other comment I'd like to make.
Go ahead.
And this is piggybacking on what Commissioner Harvey just said. Not only is the CRA addressing, the future needs of transportation, but one of the things and why it has been amended is to really focus on higher density housing in that downtown core area. And that also ties in with the idea of being able to contribute quality of life to the citizenry in the county as we look at the county and how it's growing, and to be able to better accommodate some of the growth that's happening in our county. And I want to really thank Mayor and his team, because that was one of the considerations they put into this project, in this project area, is to provide that higher density house and a little bit of diversification in housing types inside their city limit, and taking the charge on that. So that was another little piece I'd like to add to this proposal.
Great. Thank you. Very well said. Roll call vote.
Roll call vote for Resolution 47-2023. Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Chair Ford?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Resolution is approved.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Commissioners, now comes the fun part of our agenda, and it's the presentation we have for our special guest in the chamber this morning, our Vietnam War era veterans. And presentation is by the commissioners. So Commissioner Harvey, I'm going to start with you. I know you have some comments you'd like to make, and then we'd like individually, and this may take just a few minutes, but we want to make sure that everybody that's taken the time out of their day individually gets recognized. We have a little memento of our appreciation from Weber County for your service, for your sacrifice, that we'd like to give to you. We'll start that right after we've had a couple of commissioner comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. About 3 years ago, and I'm glad we did this, but about 3 years ago, we were fortunate enough to do a presentation similar to this for World War I veterans. So many of them were still alive back then, and we had, I think, 19 or 20, 21 that were here in Weber County at the time, and it was wonderful. And then a year or two ago, we did these things as best we could around the COVID time too. It was a very sensitive time, but it was so worth it. And then we did another one for the Korean conference. Yeah, and that was so great. But I'd like to I don't mean to get too personal, but I remember as a fourth grader, Roosevelt Elementary here at the Weber County School, I remember kind of last minute our teacher said, we have a special guest coming for an assembly. And it was Debbie Chesley's father, and I wanted to mention that. And the things that he said, I've not forgotten. He had been in a camp, and that affected me. One of the earliest memories I've got being a fourth grader was that. And then as I look out, especially in this audience, there are a few that I know here that have positively affected my life and my growing up. And I'm incredibly grateful if those few that I speak of are representative of this group. Mr. Chair, this represents a group of givers. And despite what's happened in the past, I know them as people who have cared, and I am very grateful for their service, and I'm so glad that I appreciate our staff being willing to do all the work you've done to make this happen and get out and reach out to all the names we could find that are here. There may be extras, maybe others, but we appreciate so much your service and so much what your care and your love for your country and your love for your families and the sacrifices you've made. And Mr. Chair, to one more thing, and Commissioner Bolos so ably talked about this, we also, for those guests who are here, the family, thank you for your sacrifice that you made so that we could enjoy what we have today. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bolos, any comments?
Well, I'll just add one thing. I would like to share a story from my father-in-law, but unfortunately he doesn't share any of those things with us. And it just speaks to some of the things that these individuals have seen and have burdened in their lives that are really unspeakable. And they did that for us and for others who don't enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy. And so again, thank you. So much appreciated when you realize that what you've endured is something that you oftentimes can't even talk about. So, thank you.
I'd just say, first off, this was a difficult part in our country's history. As I wasn't in the 4th grade. I was actually coming out of high school. Why this conflict was actually kind of ending up. But a number of the people I went to high school with and a number of the people that were friends I grew up with in Ogden Valley and other parts, just slightly older than me. And I got to talk to a few of them when they came back. Unfortunately, several of them did not come back. And, you know, our thanks and prayers go out to that group that took the responsibility to protect our freedom as a country. And I could say this, and I think it's pretty well documented, that I don't believe that those returning, and I talked to my friends, I had some personal experience with this, they weren't treated in the best possible light. They weren't treated as heroes when they came back, which was a disservice to everybody that put their life on the line for this country and went through that because of the, I'm going to call it the political environment that we endured at that time. It's hard to apologize for something we don't have any control over, but I want you to know personally that the service that you provided to this country, this state, are very much appreciated. We give thanks, even though that may be a belated thanks. Don't think for a minute that we in the political realm up here don't and haven't appreciated what you've done. And believe me, I know what you have an idea of what you went through and the outcomes that came about because of your sacrifices and the freedoms we enjoy today as a country. So I just want to give you my personal thanks, appreciation for what you do and for attending with us this morning. This is important for us as a county to recognize those people that are with us. As Commissioner Harvey stated, we talked to the Koreans last year, a few more than were in the World War II and the World War I. But when you get to be my age, some of our friends start disappearing. And so we need to take the opportunity whenever we have that chance to say thanks for what you've done. So thank you very much. And if it's all right, Commissioners, we're going to go up front and make these presentations. I'm going to reverse that mic up there. We're going to ask you to please come up individually. If you'd like to bring your spouse, a significant other, that's also welcome. And I believe Jessica's here with our PR. She'd take a photo. And if you'd like access to those photos afterwards, we'll be happy to provide them. So with that, Commissioners, if no other comments, Let's go to the front. So I've asked our faithful county attorney, Chris Crockett, to read the names off. And then as he reads those, if you'd please come up, we'd like to make the presentation.
And I hope I pronounce these correctly. If I don't, please forgive me. Jerry Inglesby. Frank Mon. Gregory Sharp. Okay.
So we want to make sure that we announce the branch of service. And so former Commissioner Mon was Army. I believe Inglesby was Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. If you just let us, unfortunately, we didn't have that written down. Let us know what branch you're in, and we'll make sure we announce it.
In the Army. Alexander Shear. Mr. Shear served in the Army. Salvador Juarez. Mr. Juarez served in the Air Force.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. Grab another one. One, two, three.
Michael Parnell. Mr. Parnell served in the Army.
Yes, one, two, three. We'll take that. One, two, three. Now grab one more. One, two, three.
James Jensen.
One, two, three. Take another one. One, two, three.
Thank you, sir.
Paul Yancey Warren Jr. United States Air Force. I don't have to do any of these.
Right here in the center.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
David Ridd Holdaway. The U.S. Army.
Thank you very much.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
Larry Garr. Navy. And Air Force.
Good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah. Went to school with kids. Yeah. The school, one of those school guys I was talking about. You went to Mowita? No, I told you, Mowita was after.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. There we go.
Good to see you again.
Claire Hughey.
picture. Yeah, let you go without that.
The Army, Amado Ralph Ramos, Air Force, Glenn Koga, the Army,
Thank you for your service. Thank you. Will you get a picture with us? Yeah.
Stephen G. Moreland, the Navy,
Let's get a picture.
Kenneth J. Russell, Army, Randall Lowenstein, Army, Raymond Taylor Wilson,
United States Air Force.
thank you, the Air Force,
She knew the band really. I was 4 years old when I wrote the band. Had a great time. Beat him to it. So. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Right? You have a picture of us? Love it, Jay.
Eugene Draper. The Air Force.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here.
Ken Frymouth.
U.S. Army, 1st Cavalry Division.
The Army. 1st Cavalry Division.
This isn't a re-up.
Yeah, it's the old Floyd, you know?
K. W. Hargis. The Army.
You wouldn't get my age, you have to have a reminder.
Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Doug Nippers. The Army.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
James Siweni. I'm sure I got that wrong. Oh. Sivany. There we go.
United States Navy.
The Navy.
Thank you.
Love you, Navy guys. Have a video picture?
Sure. My wife Mary?
Morning.
Larry Henderson. The Navy.
There we go. That's our Navy guy. Well, we got one car
Richard Housley. The Navy and the Utah National Guard. Spencer Smith. The Navy. Ken Bissenden. The Army. Lee J. Malin.
Blind as a bat, walking like a drunk duck, still vertical. Gentleman's branch, U.S. Air Force, major physician. This is my daughter, not my significant other. She was there at the time I served at Williams Air Force Base. I don't know how old she was, 8 years old again.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for bringing it down.
Thanks for having us.
Easy. Can we get a picture with you, Lee?
If you want to.
Oh, you better believe it.
All right.
You're not getting out of here without a picture. Right here in the,
You go right there, Lee, if you want to, just
Wherever you
about
want.
face.
There you
go.
get the daughter in here.
I had to quit doing surgery because I'm blind. Nobody wants a blind physician.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
K. William Barton. In the Army.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
John Michael Lujan. The Marine Corps.
Thank you for coming. You betcha. Good to see you. Okay. We get a picture with you? You betcha.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Thank you.
Lamar W. Hershey.
Marine Corps, 3rd Marine Division.
Marine Corps.
Hi. How are you doing? Good to see you. I thought I recognized that. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. I said this was Joni. Right here.
One, two, three.
It's crazy.
One, two, three.
Thanks for coming.
Stephen K. Jones.
You're looking great, I will. She's doing well.
The Marine Corps.
Actually, it is the United States Marine Corps.
The United States Marine Corps.
That's true, the Marines are part of the Navy, the men's part.
One, two, three. Drop another one. One, two, three.
Yeah, they are.
Robert Pickett Terry. Oh, Robert Terry Pickett.
United States Coast Guard. Coast Guard, wow.
United States Coast Guard.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
Dennis Howland. The United States Marine Corps.
248 years old this Friday. Dennis, good seeing you. You've been doing this before. Thank you. Dennis is a legend. He is.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Good seeing you again.
Nyron Dowdle.
Navy Stevie, the only one here.
ABCB.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
John Schneider.
United States Air Force Air Rescue Pedro, only one left.
United States Air Force.
Thank you very much for being here.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Dan Crutina? The U.S. Army Special Forces? John Monroe? Right there.
U.S. Navy. Uber driver for the U.S. Marine Corps.
Do we know that, Don? Ron O'Cana?
Army, Navy, Sea, and Air Force. Wow.
All of them.
Boy, that uniform looks brand new.
Commissioners, I have listed a name of one of our veterans who passed away, but his daughter is here. The veteran was Francis Xavier Munger. Kelly? Daughter's Kelly is here.
United States Navy, U.S. Naval Academy, 1960. My father served 26 years in the Navy, 3 years enlisted and 23 years as an officer. He always said being enlisted made him a better officer. And I'm very proud to say that he is a recipient of the Vietnam Service Medal, the Bronze Star, the Navy Cross, and the Department of the Navy Medal of Honor. Thank you all for your service.
I'd like to see if there's anybody that names that I may have missed. If you could please stand up and come down, please.
Rocky Olson, United States Army, sir.
Sir. Thank you. Rocky Olson, the United States Army. Y'all are a hoot. I've loved it.
Found me? February 5th, we babysat at Del Army. Hoorah!
there anyone else? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Boy, that was a special, I hope that was as special for you as it was for us. It was a true honor. We just have a couple of last items, and then we're going to enjoy some refreshments. Commissioner Bolos, I'm going to go to you.
I just wanted to mention that Jerry Inglesby and Frank Mont, I'm sorry, I'm choking, are here today, and they serve on our Veterans Advisory Committee meeting, so they've had some input on this presentation, and I appreciate all that they do. Thank you.
For many of you, especially family members, please watch closely over the next few years as a veterans cemetery will be built right here in Weber County. It'll be located about a half a mile south of the Ogden Regional Medical Center. Special thanks to Gary Harder and those who are at the Department of Veterans Affairs. We're waiting actually in the next 2 or 3 weeks to find out where this cemetery will be on the list of federal funding, but the ground is already secure, and so we're really excited. Just kind of watch as you continue down the pathway of life. This is coming. Thank you.
And I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Congressman Blake Moore wanted to make sure I made the announcement. He's partnered with the Library of Congress to make sure that your stories, Utah veteran stories, are preserved through history. So we have an opportunity for our kids and grandkids and those that come after us to remember what you've done. So they're seeking veterans to volunteer interviewers to help the project come to life. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you all. I know Congressman Moore would love to have you. Share your interview, share your experiences. That's how we can pass this on to the next generations. Make sure that that you folks that have done so much for this country are never forgotten. And with that, I think...
Can we get one more photo and just have the veterans stand up, and we'll have our photographer come up here and take a picture of you standing.
You guys would stand, and then we're going to have Jessica come up here. Smile.
1, 2, 3. I'll take a few more.
Slide around.
Yeah, I'm going to take another one over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Or one more. Thank you.
Thank you again. So we're going to have a short video, and then we'll adjourn for refreshments. You want to start that video?
Can I say something just for a second?
Sure, go ahead. Love to have you.
This is the first time in 50 years that I feel like I'm welcome home. Thank you.
I can just say we are very thankful for the opportunity to make sure you know how welcome home you are. Let's see the video. So let me just say, it's very hard to put into words the appreciation, respect, and honor that we have for those in the audience today. I hope that this presentation, the time you spent with us today, just shows in some small way the appreciation that should have been given a long time ago. But from Weber County, thank you very much.
Can I just say something really quick? I'm with the Major Brent Taylor Foundation. I help with that foundation. We partner with Honor the Hero and Follow the Flag. If you're not familiar, in Coldwater Canyon in North Ogden City, flying right now in the canyon is one of two of the largest free-flying flags in the world. It's flying in the canyon through the 11th of November. And you can see it from the road, you can see it from the freeway. Please drive through North Ogden and come and see that flag. It's just an amazing sight. Also in Pleasant View City, they have an honor field, and there's over 300 flags that are posted there in the field right there in front of the city offices, honoring our veterans. We honor you. We are grateful for you, so thank you for your service.
Thank you. Please.
We've all been very fortunate in our survival of Vietnam, and we're all here. But I would hope that we all remember our comrades that we lost, that we never forget their sacrifice that they made. I was fortunate enough to go to the wall early spring and remember those that are there. I would hope that we would all remember them for their loss.
I'd like to invite everyone out Saturday morning at 11 a.m. In Layton for the Veterans Day Parade. And after that parade, we will have a ceremony honoring all veterans at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial replica in Commons Park. We'd like you all to come out and honor all of America's heroes from the past to the present, those who serve today. I thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. Anyone else? We'd always have time to listen to our veterans, so we don't want to pass up the opportunity to listen. Commissioners, before we adjourn, I just ask you to please stand and give these great warriors a final round of applause and appreciation. Thank you very much. Now the fun time. After we have a motion to adjourn, we've got a few treats in the back room. We'd welcome you to stay, talk, and we'll come back, and I'd like to hear a few stories from each of you. So thank you very much. Motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you again very much.
Recording stopped.